Welcome to our video on converting a sudden $180,000 cash windfall into a clear, confident plan. Today, we will focus on a structured three-bucket strategy: safety first for short-term needs, maximizing tax-advantaged accounts, and aggressive growth for long-term wealth. We will also tackle the common anxiety around investing and the opportunity cost of holding too much cash. Let's begin by outlining our agenda and setting expectations for what you'll take away. First, we will define the $180,000 dilemma and why high earners starting later often feel stuck. Next, we will break down the three-bucket plan. Then we will show simple formulas to size each bucket and highlight common mistakes to avoid. After that, we will walk through realistic allocation examples. Finally, we will test your understanding with a short quiz and wrap with key takeaways. Before we go further, a quick disclaimer. This content is educational and not financial advice. Your situation is unique, and you should consult a licensed professional or fiduciary advisor before making decisions. With that clarified, let's transition into the core dilemma and why a plan matters. Now, the dilemma. You have $180,000 in liquid cash, no debt, and a strong retirement foundation with more than $100,000 already saved. The enviable position can still feel paralyzing. The most common mistake is letting cash sit idle while inflation silently reduces its value. The antidote is a structured allocation that is simple and decisive. Let's move to the three-bucket system that eliminates guesswork. This flowchart starts with the cash windfall and routes you through key decisions. First, identify near-term needs. If you plan to move or buy a home soon, reserve those funds in bucket 1. Then, immediately ensure tax-advantaged accounts are maximized in bucket 2, including any employer match and IRA opportunities. Finally, direct remaining capital into diversified index funds for long-term growth in bucket 3. A reminder note warns against stock picking and waiting for the perfect entry point, emphasizing that time in the market matters more than timing the market. Next, we focus on bucket 1, safety first. This covers the next 1 to 3 years. Store it in a high-yield savings account or a money market at a reputable bank. The contents include 6 to 12 months of your anticipated future living expenses, plus the entire down payment and closing costs if you are buying a home soon. Also include any major planned expenses within the next 36 months. The priority is liquidity and capital preservation, not yield. Keep this money in a separate account to avoid accidentally investing it. Moving on, here is how to size your safety bucket. Step 1. Estimate your monthly expenses realistically. Step 2. Adjust for any upcoming changes like a new city's cost of living, childcare, insurance, or taxes. Step 3. Choose a cushion between 6 and 12 months, depending on job stability and risk tolerance. Step 4. Add near-term big-ticket items such as a car replacement, relocation, or weddings. Step 5. If buying a home soon, add the full down payment and closing costs. Step 6. Park the combined total in a high-yield savings account or money market account. Then, allocate to bucket 2 by maximizing tax-advantaged accounts. Act now to use current year contribution space. First, capture your employer 401k match, because it is effectively free money. Next, work toward maximizing contributions in pre-tax or Roth accounts, depending on eligibility and tax bracket. Where appropriate, consider backdoor Roth strategies. The reason is that tax efficiency compounds significantly over time. Always confirm current IRS limits and your eligibility before contributing. After securing safety and maximizing tax-advantaged accounts, direct remaining capital to bucket 3 for long-term growth. Use low-cost, broadly diversified index funds. A simple approach is a total U.S. market index combined with a total international market index, or a single global index fund. This approach provides diversification and low fees, while historically outperforming most active management. Emphasize that time in the market beats timing the market. Avoid individual stock picking, and avoid holding excess cash waiting for a perfect entry point. Now let's compare holding cash with investing. Cash provides liquidity and freedom from market volatility, which is valuable for emergencies and near-term spending. However, it loses purchasing power to inflation and has high opportunity costs compared to compounded returns. Index investing, on the other hand, offers diversification, low fees, and exposure to long-term market growth, but it comes with short-term volatility and behavioral risks like panic selling. The practical conclusion is to keep near-term needs in cash while investing long-term funds in diversified index funds. This timeline breaks the transition into manageable phases. In Phase 1, within the first week, open or confirm your high-yield savings account, separate safety funds, list near-term expenses, and confirm any home purchase timing. In Phase 2, over weeks 2 to 3, adjust payroll to capture your 401k match, plan to maximize tax-advantaged accounts, and execute IRA contributions if eligible. In Phase 3, around weeks 3 to 4, deploy remaining capital into selected index funds, either as a lump sum or with scheduled tranches over a short window. In the final ongoing phase, rebalance periodically, raise contributions as your income grows, and revisit your safety bucket after major life events. Quiz time. Which funds should not be invested in stocks? Option A is money needed within 1 to 3 years for living expenses or a near-term home purchase. Option B is money earmarked for 5+ years with no expected use. Option C is money in tax-advantaged accounts invested for retirement. Option D is a globally diversified index fund. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is A. Funds needed within 1 to 3 years should not be invested in stocks. Those funds belong in the safety bucket for liquidity and capital preservation. Long-term money can be invested in diversified index funds, especially within tax-advantaged accounts. Let's apply a simple example using markdown-style steps. Step 1. Calculate safety as monthly expenses multiplied by 9 months plus near-term goals. Step 2. Plan to maximize tax-advantaged accounts, starting with the employer match and then IRA contributions depending on eligibility. Step 3. Invest the remainder in diversified index funds. For illustration, if monthly expenses are $5,000 and near-term big expenses are $20,000, the safety total would be $65,000. Then, allocate whatever you can toward tax-advantaged accounts this year. Finally, invest the remainder promptly, either as a lump sum or over a brief series of tranches, for example over 2 to 6 weeks. Here is a high-level table of common accounts and actions. For workplace plans, capture the employer match and work toward the annual maximum if possible. For IRAs, contribute if eligible, and consider backdoor Roth strategies when income is too high for direct contributions. If you are eligible for an HSA through a high-deductible health plan, strongly consider maximizing it due to its triple tax advantage. For education goals, a 529 plan may be appropriate, noting that state tax treatment varies. Always verify current year limits and eligibility before contributing. This pie chart illustrates a scenario where a home purchase is delayed for at least 3 to 5 years. In that case, safety might be only 20%, sufficient for 6 to 9 months of expenses. Another 20% fills remaining tax-advantaged contribution space for the year. The remaining 60% is invested aggressively in diversified index funds. This is an example allocation and should be adjusted to your actual needs and limits. Before we wrap up, let's cover common mistakes. Do not let large cash balances sit idle for extended periods. Do not mix your safety funds with investment funds. Do not wait for a perfect entry point. Avoid stock picking that lacks diversification. Do not ignore tax-advantaged contribution opportunities until the end of the year. Finally, remember to update your safety bucket after major life changes. The key takeaways are simple. Use 3 buckets to stop analysis paralysis. Keep 6 to 12 months of expenses and near-term goals in a high-yield savings account. Maximize tax-advantaged accounts early each year. Invest remaining funds in low-cost diversified index funds. Time in the market beats timing the market. If a home purchase is years away, invest a significant portion rather than letting cash erode to inflation. In summary, separate the windfall by purpose and timeline. Fill the safety bucket first, then maximize tax-advantaged accounts, and finally invest the remaining capital for growth. Act promptly to avoid inflation drag. Automate contributions, and schedule periodic rebalancing to stay on track without overthinking. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you convert anxiety into action, please like the video, share it with a friend who is sitting on too much cash, and subscribe for more smart money content. In the comments, tell us how you would split your $180,000 across the 3 buckets and why. See you in the next one.